Hello everyone, you are here for another reaction video. And I was watching this video, I started it, the title just caught me. Its name is like Europe's Stolen Forest. And after a few minutes, I just realized like how passionate I am about this and how much this actually means to me. So this is a little bit controversial. This video is definitely more controversial than any other video I've ever done. But it's something I'm so passionate about and want to bring to light. Wherever you sit on the fence, I just want to bring it to light and just show people like how amazing Romania is and really how it can be taken advantage of at times. So thanks for joining. Let me know in the comments down below why you like this reaction video or why you like this video. I will link the original video down below. But let's get started, man. I don't know, I only watched like 5 minutes, so like it's a 28-minute video. I'm excited to see the last 23 minutes now. Let's get going.
It's October 16th, 2019, and Forest Ranger Liviu Pop is on patrol in Maramureș County, where he confronts a man stealing wood. Moments later, his colleagues lose contact with him. Pop, a father of 3, never made it out of that forest. And he wasn't the first. His death marks the 6th forest ranger killed in recent years.
These
weren't isolated
deceased
events,
or like
but part of a large
dead
system of corruption, greed, and exploitation that I've been tracking for months. This story had a way of pulling me deeper into the forest and blinding me to the wider problem, until a Romanian friend of mine suggested that I take a look at satellite images of the country. And what you can see is how forests across the country are disappearing. Oh my god. These trees have been cut by the wood mafia.
The mafia.
Which when you think of the mafia, you don't think of like the wood mafia, right? But you think of more like mobsters like in the city, like doing crazy stuff in the city. Why I'm passionate about this is because I think Romania has some of the most like beautiful natural landscapes, and so something like this where there is a wood mafia like really hits home for me and like something I don't want. I want to preserve Romania. I want to keep it as beautiful as it can be because its natural beauty is so incredible. So sorry that's a little tangent, but let's keep going about the wood mafia here.
O mafie generalizată.
It's an entire network which is camouflaging illegal activities.
Trees are being extracted at an unsustainable rate.
I'd like to cut not 3,000 in the first year, but about 6,000, for example.
About 50% of wood is obtained illegally in Romania.
I had to see this for myself, so Matt and I traveled to Romania with Vlad and gained access to forests where the mafia operate. And what our investigation uncovered prompted a direct response from the highest official possible.
Hello.
The Minister for the Environment. There is a lot of people that don't want this to be seen. This is how the mafia has infiltrated every level of society, profiting off local communities whilst destroying Romania's wildlife in ancient forests. And this destruction is making a group of people unimaginably rich. Over the past few days, we've been traveling through Romania, struggling to uncover anything out of place. These sites are hidden deep in the forest, usually guarded and off-limits to the public. Please. Yeah. After hearing reports near Cluj-Napoca, a source managed to introduce us to...
I mean, just look at all these cutscenes, like all this B-roll. It is so beautiful. The natural beauty of Romania is just like incredible. Look at these trees. Look how tall these trees are.
Horia Petrahus, a forester who's single-handedly taking on the wood mafia and wants to show us what's actually going on. Okay, this is the point where we can go no further in our car, so we're swapping over into the 4x4.
It's very important
Chapter
for me
1.
to go from one place to another, so they cannot know my program. Surprise factor is very, very important. So they cannot make a plan. They don't know where I'm coming, from where I'm coming, with whom I'm coming, and this helps us a lot.
Reporting on the ground, even with a guide, is extremely dangerous.
They were punching and kicking to kill.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
So we've got people tracking our live location. We're following this road to a site that will show you the true scale of the problem.
Murder. I was gamekeeper in this area for 5 years. The first poacher that I caught and give to the police was the local priest. Not so much about the soul, but much more about the money.
Horia has spent his entire life in the forests and has built a reputation across Romania fighting deforestation.
So this guy is probably like one of the biggest guys in on this, right? So there's extremists on sides. He's probably an extremist on this one side. So I always tend to sit more in the middle. So take what he says and listen to it, but also like take it with a grain of salt as he's on the very extreme side, just as like an awareness thing. I think he's really awesome, but just an FYI there.
From spending just 20 minutes with him, it's clear that he's not scared of anything you'll find in these forests.
Ce faci? L-ai omorât. Pe unde e Valer? Aici ai. Na bună treabă.
He's constantly connected with people across the country trying to dismantle the mafia.
So here stays a forester, and I caught him stealing forest many times. Instead of guarding forest, he was part of this great destruction that happened here. Look
So
to the right,
sad.
you see? Here.
That just looks like an empty. Fucking hell.
Exactly. It's like a bomb there.
Yeah. This area has been clear cut. It's a process of removing all trees in a forest, destroying ecosystems, and leaving little chance of natural regrowth. It's highly controversial, but widely used across the country. But it wasn't always like this. Romania's forests were some of the oldest and best protected in Europe. But with the transition in the 90s from communism to democracy, it brought freedom and corruption.
So it's hard for me to understand how a criminal like Ceausescu managed the forest better than our democracy. It's a shame.
To me, this didn't add up, but the deeper we go into the forest, the clearer it's going to become.
You can compare things. On your left, there we had replantation, and here on the right, the state should plant it. They have money, nothing was replanted.
And I think that's the biggest thing here, right? Is yes, we need wood and we need paper and we need everything. But it's like taking that time and that effort to replant the forest to keep Romania beautiful.
How does it feel for you as a Romanian?
Oh, it's sad, man. Being so remote, out of the way of the people. I had no idea.
Horia has been explaining to us how these trees are meant to grow, where they're meant to be planted. They're meant to be this close to each other. And by law, any tree cut has to be replaced within typically 1 year and replanted in
That's
a
a good
way
law.
that gives the forest the best chance to thrive. But that's not happening here. And the trees that are left are dying. Just listen. It's silent. Like, our forest should be thriving. We should hear animals, nature. It's more like a graveyard.
You can see sick trees, ghost trees. They are still here. It's like a wound, like an infected wound, and nobody is doing nothing about it. Here we have a dead tree who shouldn't be here. It's still standing, and here we have young, healthy trees that are illegally cut and prepared to brought out from here. So this is illegally cut.
How can you tell they're illegally cut?
Because at this age, you are not allowed to cut that type of tree in this area. They are so young, and before you cut that tree, you should cut other trees around. Look at here, others.
Dang.
No legal mark. Illegal cutting, my friends. You see this number, and this means that the police was here and see the illegal logging. We will go in this area, we will find almost 200 illegal logged trees.
Wow.
We sent the drone up and discovered what looked like tree stumps hiding under branches. This one had no markings. And then we found a second.
Another one.
And a third. Oh my god. At least
They did this on purpose. They knew how to hide some of those things. Like, there's no way they didn't, right? Like, that's just too many.
These 30 to 40 cut trees just a few hundred meters away from where the forest police had marked illegal cuttings. It looks like something has come through and just totally flattened this entire area.
But this one, police didn't found it. How come?
One more.
Dang.
Do they hide them?
Yes. It's like a joke. So our children and grandchildren would look back at us as a generation of murderers, you know?
How do you feel in terms of...
Very angry now, you know?
Yeah.
Very angry. Our generation...
We are 8 minutes 47 seconds into this video, and I don't know, my heart hurts watching it. Like, I feel and I love for the Romanian people, but also the country of Romania, the borders, where Romanian ancestors fought for places like this, you know? And even though I'm not Romanian, like, I still feel connected to that, and I still feel like a draw towards that. So this, like, is hurting my heart to see something like this.
We cannot keep the forest healthy, you know? Every time I see this, it's I don't know what to say, really.
Look how beautiful
Okay, before
that
I
is.
show you what we ran into next, let's zoom out and take a broader look at how the mafia operates, who's involved, and how they're connected, and the roles they play in keeping this system alive. Because
This'll be
once you
interesting.
understand that, what we discovered next will make a lot more sense.
Foreign influence, of course. It's always going to be outsiders coming in and offering money.
Romania's
Germans?
forests cover nearly a third of the country, an area larger than West Virginia. In 2023, about 18,000 hectares, or 0.3% of natural forests, were cut.
Wow.
So why does this even matter? That doesn't seem like a lot. Well, Romania is home to some of Europe's last ancient forests. These are rare, untouched ecosystems that have been around for centuries. But they also make for some of the highest quality timber in Europe.
About 50% of wood is obtained illegally in Romania.
50% is about 20 million cubic meters. At a median price of 400 euros per cubic meter of wood, that's 8 billion euros disappearing from its forests every year.
So this is a very...
The economic impact of that, even if you can cut that down to 10%, and still have 10% of that going out? How much did they say it was?
Billion euros disappearing from its forests
8
every
billion?
year.
So
if you captured even 50% of that, you have 4 billion extra dollars going into Romania's economy? Like, not just thinking about ancestors and like health of the planet and everything, like thinking just like strictly economically, that's like $4 billion, even if you got half of that. $4 billion that could go to the benefit of the Romanian people. That's crazy, man.
this is a very hot problem.
And there are meant to be a ton of rules around what can be cut. But illegal logging skips all of these steps and prioritizes those crazy profits over the health of the forest.
Vă salut, domnul Pleșa.
Oh yeah, who was that?
The police, forestry police.
Horia called around half a dozen forest guards. They either told him to call their colleagues,
Bun, mulțumesc.
What did he say?
To call the 911 of Romania.
or they were too busy to deal with this. Things started to heat up.
111.
Just trees should not be that color.
Oh, legally cut and not taken out by the police. Let's go to the police. Hold on, we need to speed a little bit.
The cut trees needed to be marked urgently before the loggers returned to haul them away.
We phoned the police and the police are not even here. We are doing their job and they are not even here to see the illegal logging that we found. This is normal, it's not normal. This is corruption, this is incompetence.
What was so unique about what we found today?
We had a control here, so why does not the police guard this area? But the illegal loggers don't care.
Horia was determined to confront them with the evidence at the police station about 15 kilometers away.
Wow.
So I'm very curious to find out what the head of the local police has to say.
But if we left the valley, word would spread and the loggers might move in to cover their tracks. And then things took a dark turn.
Because as you can see, that car is suspect.
Somebody in there.
He's just going up to the car?
Under
So it's a
some
girl.
blankets, there's a little girl there. Probably their parents are illegal logging here. And I said, "You're alone here?" He said, "Yes, I'm alone." "And your mother and your
That's
father?"
so
"I don't know
crazy.
where they are."
What the?
So the girl is inside.
Just a kid.
Just the kid. So they found out that we are here. They left the kid here at the car and they hidden away into the forest. So
How old was the kid?
9 years, maybe 8, 9 years. In the communist regime, the forests were very good managed, extremely good managed. The destruction that you see in our forest, it begins like 30 years ago when democracy came to our country.
After the fall of Nicolae Ceausescu in 1989, things changed. In the transition, forests that had been nationalized under communist rule were illegally sold off, some to foreign companies. Harvard University acquired over 33,000 hectares, which they eventually sold on in 2015 to IKEA. IKEA
What?
operates in each of these counties and now owns around 900 forests. We visited a factory in this border town with Ukraine that supplies wood to IKEA, which Greenpeace claims to have linked to illegal logging of old forests. IKEA claims all their wood is legally sourced. We reached out for comment, and as of the release of this video, they didn't get back to us. But once you see how this works, you'll understand why it's almost impossible to tell the difference. It's shockingly simple, but it's enough to trick the entire system. Let's take this forest. Third-party loggers have permits to cut 300 selected trees, but they've paid a bribe to the forest guard. They've paid enough to cut an additional 300 trees, which could earn them an extra 30 to 45,000 euros.
Wow.
The illegal cuts will get mixed in with the legal ones and transported to a facility like this one and sold on. And by this point, we have no way of knowing what is legally cut. So it's not just big companies, individual people.
Yes, but individual people, they will sell to small and big companies.
Through purchasing land, Austrian timber companies have dominated the market for the past 30 years. And one of the largest, Schreikuva, were caught agreeing to buying illegal Romanian timber.
Like to cut not 3,000 in the first year, but about 6,000, for example.
We are cutting here per day 5,000 cubic meters per day. I have every day here 120 trucks, day and night they're coming, so we are here very flexible.
Two great companies from Austria did the big damage. They bought illegal cut wood from every part of Romania, and with buying that wood they encourage illegal logging. So in many ways for our forest, the EU and the democracy meant only destruction.
Demand from major corporations is just one piece of the puzzle, but it's not the whole story. There's another side to this that I couldn't quite believe until we saw them in person.
Caught in the act. Ooh. This is gonna be interesting.
In the back, yeah? They are going to pick up the wood.
At this moment, Horia's tactics are to let the loggers know he's here and with press.
They will stay there till somebody will phone them that we are off the valley.
And once we're gone, they will only transport wood that they have the correct permits for.
Because we are here and they don't know where we are going, when we are coming back.
A few miles away, we reached what used to be a settlement. Horia explained how as a child he would visit here, but since the rise of logging in the mountains, it's been abandoned.
The buildings are all destroyed, everything is destroyed there. The reason for this was to depopulate the mountains of Romania because where you don't have a strong local community, the foreigners can come and steal the resources, you know?
As we were filming around the settlement, Max...
This valley looks so beautiful too. Like, you have mountains around, you have a little river down there. That sucks.
...spotted the loggers, who looked like they were heading towards a pickup spot.
Hey Andy, the truck is on that road.
We think that they're not logging today because we're here, but I don't know, I'm just gonna have a look at the drone. They're well aware we're filming this, so I've got to assume this wood being collected is legal. The risk of being caught is not worth it. Because these people, the drivers and the ones cutting the wood, are small fish, often locals brought in because they know these forests. Romanian culture is entwined with forestry.
Again, in the communist regime, from the first grade, the teachers brought the kids into the forest.
What?
So
I didn't know that.
You see the forest from a young age, you
That's awesome.
begin to feel them and to understand them.
And they're the ones doing the hardest work, taking the biggest risks and getting the least in return. So here's the crazy thing. The other piece of the puzzle keeping the mafia running is the participation of local communities. Back in the forest, we came across this old building.
There we also have a great university, Babes-Bolyai. Communist regime built this building for young generations to learn about.
I think I've heard about Babes-Bolyai. Maybe that's in Cluj, maybe that's why I've heard about it, but it sounds like a huge university.
About forestry, geography and biology.
But like most things here, it's been left to fall into disrepair.
We're in this beautiful location, but there's a bunch of waste here and there's a dog in this concrete container.
Oh, sad.
This university attracted a lot of people, but it was destroyed to keep people away. And then those who knew these forests well were sent in to extract what they could.
This is not what I expected today when we came here.
So why would locals be so willing to help others destroy these forests?
One of the big problems, I think, is also the level of poverty in Romania.
In 2023, a third of households were grappling with poverty. And here in the north,
their main source of living is wood.
This is Monica Achim, a professor who specializes in corruption and the shadow economy. She explained to us that in rural Romania, everyone's livelihood revolves around wood, and the government doesn't support the needs of those who need it. These opportunities are all they're presented with, so they choose to work in this system because it's all they have. At the old university, we found more cut trees outside a home that wasn't abandoned.
There lives the forester that should guard the forest. As you can see, today is not here because we are here. And these trees, let's see a little bit. It's illegally logged.
How do you know that?
Because if it would be legally logged here at 1 meter and 30 centimeter, it should have a cutting and a number on it.
How much would that tree be worth?
200 euros here, but after that, you know, the price goes up.
Someone will be making a lot of money off this timber. And understanding how the mafia recruits locals, I wondered if Horia had any sympathy for them.
Somebody is stealing something, you don't go to steal with him. You go to the police and announce him, you know.
We tried speaking to locals to get their perspective about it, but nobody was willing to speak up, out of fear of repercussions from the final and most powerful faction of this organization, Romania's politicians and public servants.
The politicians are at the top. Through their influence, control the rest of the mafia.
Knowing that they're tracking our movements and still no sign of the forest guard, we decided we had to risk leaving to present the evidence at the police station.
The police, even if they know about this, they apparently cannot stop this. We phoned him like almost 2 hours ago. What is he doing? This smells for me like corruption.
Daily protests have prompted the government to revoke its decree that would set back the fight against corruption.
In the newly democratic Romania, corruption had slipped into the foundations. Today, it's a systematic issue, part of business and even the healthcare system, and of course, politics.
From mayors to judges to prosecutors, they are all involved because otherwise you're not able to cut illegally.
I just want to pause here for a second because right now, as I'm recording, they're doing the Romanian elections for the second round. And if any elected official or anyone of high power ever hears or sees this, I just want you to know, like, please do what's best for Romania. I know it's hard and there's a lot of things that will make you want to do things for you. And that's hard to put your country in front of yourself sometimes, but please do whatever you can to help save Romania. It's an incredible country. That's my plea. Sorry to break you up here, but I just wanted to make that plea right here, right now.
Almost 20 million cubic meters.
As we reached the entrance to the forest, we came face to face with one of the forester's employees.
Unde-i Valer? Ăștia de la gardă, am înțeles că-s doi de la gardă pe aici. Deci nu filmați, că n-are rost. He's afraid of the camera. N-are nimeni treabă cu tine că tu ești a 18-a roată de la căruță.
Eu știu, mă, domnul Horică, dar n-are rost.
Te-ai liniștit că asta apare pe presa europeană.
Ce vreți, cu Viorel vreți? Treabă.
Păi cu Viorel, dar n-am treabă cu el, am în altă parte, că ea ce le-am găsit aici. Fii atent aici.
Ce ați găsit?
Yeah.
His boss is Valer, the forester who Horia caught in the past. They both work for the National Forest Administration, known as Rom Silva, who manage the forests. These four...
Which Silva, from what I've learned from like past videos and people commenting, so thank you for commenting, but Silva means forest in Latin, just FYI.
Agencies protect the forest, and at the top is the government ministry, creating the laws and overseeing everything. And we're about to see how this hierarchy allows illegal logging to thrive in plain sight.
Now the police is calling me. Hello?
Turns out this wasn't the police, it was coming from the Ministry of the Environment.
The minister called Horia knowing about the discoveries of today. There's no other person higher other than the president.
Do you think he is corrupt?
Well, I don't know if... I hope not. I will meet him again on Monday. I met him 2 years ago. And if he's clean and he wants to do something real, he should help us. We are asking just a better collaboration.
The minister offered to help Horia after seeing what we had discovered, but I was skeptical at best. While the government promises to crack down on illegal logging and have made progress, they're also pulling the strings behind the scenes. Key forestry roles are handed out as political favors. These aren't independent experts, they're party loyalists serving political agendas, helping keep illegal profits quietly flowing up the chain. Despite all this, the minister's concern had spurred the police into action, and we had word they were heading to the site that we had discovered this morning.
So that? Yeah, the policemen are here.
Wow. This is
I'm
crazy.
so prepared to film everything, guys.
I don't know why we're hiking up the side of a hill. Horia says it's because we've got to catch the police before they go. We've been chasing the police for like 20 minutes now, maybe more. Up a fucking mountain. I have no idea what we're in for. You ready? 1-0.
Ia uitați aici. Unele dintre ele au vrut să le ascundă. Al hoților să pună o marcă, să încerce să ne induce în eroare că această tăiere a fost legală.
We have a lot of work to do and we don't know when they are happening.
He's saying that without us our forests are lost.
Yes. If no one tell us, we don't know. But the villagers don't call the police.
Why don't they not call the police?
Because it's a shame.
They have this communist mentality, you know, they think that the state is our enemy.
No. Not be a rat, you know?
Yeah.
It's a shame to be a rat because are so many people who live from the theft and they live very well. Yeah,
Really?
no.
Extremely
Houses, cars, apartments. This is a crime. Cut the tree. Yes, and the second crime is to steal the tree. I can't know who cut and who steal the tree if I don't catch him. The forest guy should have cameras on the roads.
All the trees illegally cut from here go on one road.
One road.
If
and
you put one camera, you catch everybody.
you
One
help
camera
me.
maybe is 200 euros, you know?
Wow.
It seemed like he also felt frustrated about all this. Now these trees have been officially reported, they would be marked, and loggers wouldn't be able to sell them on. But if it was this difficult to report a theft, I wondered what could be done. We left that day feeling deflated. This system is built to protect those profiting off this destruction, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to preserve the status quo. What I came to understand through our reporting is that there isn't one person pulling the strings. I'd like to give you a more satisfactory answer. A person or an organization that, if they were caught, this problem that affects not just Romanian people but provides clean air and water and regulates ecosystems for the whole of Europe, that would be solved. But it's much more opaque. The wood mafia is a decentralized network that allows for systematic corruption to spread throughout all of these levels, with people playing both sides.
Before he goes into his ending, man, if this isn't a call to action or like, you know, enlightening to some of you or whatever, like Romania has some of the coolest forests, some of the coolest nature in the world. Like I live in Utah in America, which is also like a very cool outdoors place. And I'm always like shocked by how beautiful and how incredible Romania is. I've grown up living in the mountains. It's crucial to preserve this and to do your best to, you know, keep Romania as beautiful as it can possibly be. So that's my spiel. Let's hear what the optimist has to say.
Hey dude, how did the meeting go with the minister?
Maybe it's a problem of my mind, but I'm always optimistic. But when I reach there and talk about real problems, I get this non-enthusiast react.
Despite the lack of support and how things ended for us that day, Horia is in the forests across the Carpathians every week, shining a light on what's happening and educating people on the real cost of illegal logging. He sends me photos and videos of wildlife he comes across, the changing seasons and updates about brown bears he's spotted. It reminds me that even small actions like he's doing, making changes in how we think about what we consume, can start to challenge the system. And I think these snapshots of seeing how happy he seems in nature are what we all need to see more of to appreciate them as we go about our busy lives and how much we stand to lose if illegal logging continues.
And that was the video. I am passionate about this. Romania is beautiful. I want to keep Romania as beautiful as possible, as long as possible. And it starts with each and every one of us. My goal is, I have this channel monetized at the current time. My goal is to earn enough money to come back to Romania with my wife so that I can film cities and show how beautiful Romania is. And then after that, I want to give back to Romania. I want to give to the Romanian people. I want to help build trees. There's like a desert forming in the south of Romania that I've heard about. There are so many things that I want to do. So you watching, you subscribing, and you like even just watching any videos or giving me feedback, whatever it may be, to produce content that's better for you, like that not only helps me, but it helps Romania. I want to give back to Romania as much as I can. And so I'm thankful for you guys for watching. Let's go out. Let's freaking make Romania the best place we can. Let's keep it as beautiful as we can. That's this video. We'll check you next time on Bonarescu TV. Leave me a comment on what you think down below. I'd really appreciate that. I love you guys. Peace.